All right. So today I wanted to talk about feeling unworthy or having a low self esteem or thinking that somehow you need to shrink yourself or viewing yourself as small and how that's being perceived, particularly within the Christian community. Because this is something that I have seen multiple times recently and even before that, where it's almost as if people just automatically assume that if you struggle with these kind of things continually, that it's pride. It's become far too easy for people to label it as pride, when in reality there can be multiple reasons for why someone is feeling that way or why they have those beliefs about themselves. And one of them, yes, can be your own ideas about yourself. And I understand why the concept of that being pride came up, but it's not the only one. There's another one where it's actually not that you are choosing to believe this about yourself or that, oh, I have this idea in my head that somehow I'm not enough. It's that your brain has subconscious patterns in terms of how it thinks, and it's been trained to think that way about you. So it's not really that I'm consciously choosing this belief. It's just that the brain itself has been trained to think that way. There are neural pathways in your brain, and the pattern of them that's determined by how you think and what you think. Okay, the most used pattern is the route of the electrical signals in your brain that's going to be the strongest, the most well-built, the most well-connected. So your thinking patterns literally determine the physical thinking patterns in your brain, and vice versa. If your physical thinking pattern is that, oh, I'm small or I'm unworthy because, let's say, somebody told that to you, or just life, society, circumstances showed that to you too many times, then even if you are unaware that this is happening, that's still the way your brain is going to start to work and the way it's going to promote, in a sense, how you view yourself. So sometimes it's not really that you consciously choose this thing, it's just that your brain is so used to running on it that you automatically view yourself through that lens, and you don't know what you don't know, right? So you can't exactly change that until you realize what's happening. And then you can go, okay, now I want to change this. And you can go ahead and redirect. Once you notice it, you can redirect your thoughts. You can change how you think about certain things and how you think about yourself. And through that, you can retrain your brain. So that's one aspect. But the other reason for why sometimes people have those beliefs about themselves, that they are not worthy of certain things that God says about them or God wants to give them, or that they have to shrink themselves, that they can take up space, or just somehow that what they are is not enough, is not even because subconscious thinking patterns just in the brain, but because sometimes those beliefs have been actually ingrained into people on an identity level. And when I say identity, I don't even mean just the surface level of, oh, who I am and how you perceive yourself and what you think is your identity. I mean it on an existential level, as in these things, they feel like they are woven into the fabric of your very being. So it's literally part of what makes you. It's that deeply ingrained in you. And it's not even about who you are anymore. It's about what you are, in a sense, because it becomes a part of you on an existential level. And when that happens, that's actually a lot harder to deal with than just subconscious thinking patterns. Because unlike with the subconscious thinking patterns here, even if you notice what's happening, you can't actually change the pattern itself. It's, in a sense, it behaves very much like your nervous system, ingrainments like this, where just like with the nervous system, you can't strong arm it into behaving differently. The same way you can't just go ahead and change your mind about this, and even retraining your mind in that sense just doesn't work, because if it's a part of you on an existential level, then whether you want it or not, it's gonna be there. It's just like how you can't take out your bones out of yourself, okay? You just can't do that. So the thing with this particular case is that a lot of people are unaware that this is what's happening to them. And when you are in a place like this, you are already struggling with identity. You don't have a healthy view of yourself and a healthy value of yourself, in the sense that you don't actually see yourself as great as God made you. And you already have insecurities, you have a small view of yourself, literally. And on top of all of those identity issues, you are also dealing with the fact that you can't even change it. Because when you become a Christian, at some point on your journey, you're likely to be aware that, okay, maybe I need to change certain things about how I view myself. And you can maybe detect that, oh, I have unworthiness issues, or that I view myself too small. But when you try to change it, as I said, there's no strong arming this, and there's no changing it. So when you try to change it, you're just gonna fail, and you keep failing and failing and failing, and that makes it feel like it's your fault. And I mean, why wouldn't it? You are trying your best, and you should, as a capable adult, you should be having the willpower, the discipline, the intentionality that you can actually make changes in your life, that you can direct the course of your life and how you're acting and how you're developing. But that just doesn't work here. So all you see is, I'm trying my best, and I keep doing the things I think would help, and I keep doing this and doing this and doing this, and it just keeps failing and failing and failing. So it can very much feel like, and it will make you feel like, something is wrong with you, that maybe you are too weak, or you're not disciplined enough, or you're not intentional enough to be able to change this. So you have your identity issues, then the not being able to change the identity issues part is making you feel worse. And then on top of that comes in the labeling, the Christian labeling, that this is pride. And it's just so unhealthy for someone who is in this position to hear other people label that struggle as pride. They already feel bad enough about themselves, and they already have enough issues. And then now on top of that, someone else comes in and tells them that, oh, you are being disobedient to God, and you are sinning, and you are going against God, and you are somehow putting your own perception of yourself above what God says about you. And honestly, that's just adding to the problem. It literally just makes it worse. Because now you are telling a person who is already in a bad enough position that it's actually their fault that they are in that position, and that it's not just their fault, but it's also their own conscious choice of doing wrong. It's your fault, and it's wrong that you are doing this, and it's a conscious wrong that you are choosing to do. So the effect of that is literally just shaming someone, essentially, for having these struggles, because that's how it's likely going to land on them. That, oh, I have these issues, I can't change them, I already feel like something is wrong with me, and then I'm being told that all of these things are me doing evil, me being prideful, me committing a sin, and that it's me choosing to disobey God. And any Christian who is actually trying to follow God is not going to feel good about being told that, oh, they are prideful, or thinking that they are prideful, or thinking that they are disobeying God, okay? The whole point in trying to change these things is that you are trying to follow who God says you are and how God views you, and you're trying to follow what He's telling about you. So then putting that weight on someone that, oh, you're being prideful and you're sinning, is literally just piling on top of the already existing mountain of issues that they are crumbling under. And that's not going to help them at all. It's just going to hurt them even more. And it's likely to, or maybe not likely, but there are chances that it's actually just going to push them even farther away from God. Because now, on top of feeling like they can't follow God properly, and that it's somehow their fault that they can't follow God properly, they also feel like, oh, it's a sin that I can't follow you properly. I'm being sinful, and then I'm choosing that consciously. And I've never seen that be good for a relationship among humans, and even more so between human and God. So that is going to be, if that's how it lands on them, that's going to be extremely destructive. And there are pretty good chances that that's how it's going to land on them. And the thing is, because people don't know that their struggles are not just them being weak or them being stubborn, but that this is something that actually takes a whole different kind of approach, they are not going to be able to resist the implications it has when you say that this is pride. They're not going to be able to differentiate that, oh, they are saying it's pride, but I know it's not pride because I know why I'm struggling with this. They don't know why they are struggling with this. A lot of people don't know. And because they don't know, they're going to put the blame on themselves. And they are also going to receive the blame that you diagnosing it as pride puts on them. So they are not going to be able to counter what that diagnosis says about them when they hear it. And because of that, that is why it's so likely that it's going to land the way on them, the way I said it. And that's the part that, first of all, it makes it even harder for them to be around God, likely, but it also makes it harder to deal with the issue itself, because now you are just nailing the conclusion home that they are the problem in why this is not being solved. When in cases like this, literally the only thing you can do about it is you recognize that this is going on and you admit it, you accept that this is the state that you're in, and you give it to God, because He is the only person who can actually change those things. He knows how to change them, and He will change them, and all you can do is just ask Him to change it and be open to the process that He takes on you to change that. Be willing to process things emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in every single way. Be open to that. Be open to the rhythm that he sets in that process. Be open to the things he brings in your life that prompt you towards thinking, processing, healing, feeling the emotions that all of those things bring up in you, and just generally processing things in a holistic way, and be willing to be present with all of the emotions that this brings up. It's not pleasant at all, but that's literally all you can do on your part. Just showing up to the journey that God takes you on. But you cannot go ahead and change this pattern and those beliefs that you have on your own. That is God's portion, and God knows how to do it. He knows how to ease up your heart to the point where those beliefs are able to be changed and where you can let go of them. He knows how to soften the conditions of your heart, the different kinds of hardness that are in there from trauma, life experiences, circumstances, Lord only knows what. He knows how to do that, and he is going to do that. It just takes time, and it takes you not beating yourself up about it, because that's not helping anybody. It's just hurting you and hurting your relationship with God if you view this in a way where, oh, I can't follow you properly and it's my fault, so I need to pull away from you or shy away from you somehow. And even if you over-obsess on you trying to do it, because you're gonna be so focused on trying to get it done that you're gonna miss God entirely. So that's just going to hurt you and hurt the relationship with God. So don't try to force your own way into it, but that's literally all you can do. You just sit, you follow where God leads you to, and you just let him do what he does. And honestly, there's nothing more that you can do about that. And it helps if you are aware that this is what's going on. And when people try to tell you that, oh, it's pride, now you can actually combat that internally. And please, if you ever run into someone in your life, or you have someone in your life that is struggling with these things, just don't automatically write it off as pride. Don't go ahead and automatically tell them that, oh, those beliefs that they have about themselves are them being prideful. Okay, you don't know why they believe the things that they believe. You don't know how they got that in their head, or even in deeper parts of themselves. You don't know how they got to this point. So don't diagnose them too early, because if you do that, you are going to cause damage and you are going to make things a lot worse. So please, for the love of everything, just because it's popular right now within the Christian community to label everything as pride, it doesn't mean you should do it. And don't do it. It's not helpful and it's not healthy. Please, thank you.